What's up, YouTube? What's going on? It's a long-awaited another episode. Man, I filmed a lot of stuff. I've got a lot of stuff done. I've had a lot of back and forth with the SC. We've made a lot of progression. Man, that's a clean SC right there. Anyways, we've made a lot of progression. Few steps forward, few steps back. Things keep changing. Finding problems. Still need to redo stuff. So, what I've done is a lot. We fixed the power steering rack by re-welding something. We welded an angle on we welded two different angles on the cold side to the turbo. We mounted the turbo in another spot. We mounted the intercooler. We mounted the radiator, moved it up a little bit more. What else? I don't know. There's a series of things that we did to the car. Well, I keep saying we, it's only me and little mama over there. I've had an opportunity to get a lot of stuff done since I'm on baby leave. Just had a little baby girl. Thank the Lord. But anyways, yeah, so I got a lot of stuff done. There's a lot of like halfway done videos that I started. So don't blame me for how this video is cut up, but I'm going to intro like this. And then you might have several other intros depending on how I layer the rest of this. But they were starts to a bunch of other different videos that were supposed to be segmented episodes. But at this point, there's not enough footage for me to do full episodes of each one of those. So I'll start one. I'll talk about whatever it is I'm doing. I'll show you what I got going. You might see an end result, and then I'll throw another clip at you of the next project, and we'll see how that goes. So sit back and enjoy. All right, so that one is in, that side is in. No, it's not gonna stay like that. You know I'm gonna clean this up. It's not gonna stay like this. Even if I have to remake the wires completely. Gotta put this other coil back in. Once I figure out how I'm gonna route that, which I'll probably go behind the fender, I'll shorten that up, fix these holes, polish all this stuff, fix that bottom crossover pipe, and the intercooler's in. Cut these stubs. I still have to reinforce the bottom of it and gusset it and all that good stuff, because it's in there solid, but you know, I'd like to get a little more meat on those. So cut this off. You can see a little bit better how the intercooler's in there, but she's in there. It's a big girl for sure. So let's get this off. Better look at the intercooler. Alright, let's get this other side in here. And then the downpipe. Forgot to show you guys what this ended up like. It doesn't look the greatest, but I'm not worried about it. What I am going to do is that O2 sensor rolled into there. I like the spacing I have back there. It looks okay. Not horrible. Looks pretty good. Not touching. Not touching. Let's go into the car and see what it looks like. Where we're aiming. This is never fun, especially when you're as big as I am. Oh, would you look at that? It's not bad at all. We'll get some pie cuts thrown in there. And, looks like we got the angle pretty good where we're trying to go. I do have the rest of the exhaust, but I think I'll cut it back and then like redo the section from like maybe like here over under the car. Yeah, I think I like that spacing. I can't see it, but you guys can. I think I like that spacing. I'm gonna stick with that. Other thing is too, I gotta get those knock sensors put in. I'll figure out where we can put them there. But we got a lot of cleaning up to do, but as of right now, we're just trying to get everything sorted. I gotta fix that on the power steering. Gotta fix that on this rack. I got another rack, but I think we continue to use this and just fix these things. So I'd rather not have to dress and pull that rack out of storage, and I can fix this one for now since the car's down. But yeah, I'm trying to get this thing started now. So I got it tacked up and I went for a pass. Yeah, it's not so great, but we're working with it. And once I get it down, if I don't like it, I'll go back through it. My test pass came out pretty good. I actually was having a problem with this thing. I got some contaminated gas. I had kind of like a grounding issue. It was bad, so I went and filled up on gas. I got this bottle here, pure argon. That bottle there, pure argon. And then that one's, I believe, 75-25 on oxygen and argon, I believe. But yeah. Anyways, like I said, I do all right when it comes to some of this welding. I know how to make the penetration. Maybe it's not so straight all the time when I'm taking lines, but it's just a matter of getting comfortable with it. But I can definitely get some stuff to stick together and have the weld look pretty. It may not be pretty in uniform, but at least it'll be shiny. Anyways, yeah, I'm just gonna keep working with it and see how far I get with this. I gotta get it done. See, I had a bad grounding problem. I got rid of the ground clip I had. Ground clip I had was just trash. When you get some of these cheaper welders, they don't give you such great ground clips, and eventually they just do horrible. Anyways, I did away with it, clamped it right to the part. Welds way better. Now I have to undo the bad stuff that I learned, or untrain myself, I should say, with the bad things that I learned, and go back through and set my machine up again, because right now I'm sure it's a little off due to the fact that I was just trying to figure out what was going on. God, I hate holding this camera. Anyways, yeah, I'll keep working with it and I'll show you what I got. So not great, but not horrible. It'll sit like that in the car. It's a better view for you, something like that. And that's only because it sits right behind the radiator, so. Alright, let's get this thing in the car. So, this piece I had started for the bottom radiator support, about to get cut up. I'm gonna do different things with it. I'm gonna hang that radiator support right off the side and nail it right under there on both sides. That's about how it'll look in there. A little tight, but we'll make it work. Let's do some cutting. So, got these cut. It'll look like that. It's a tight fit, so I have to press this guy in there. But these will end up getting welded up, and that'll be the radiator support. Nothing too crazy. sample. So, radiator mounts underway, getting it done. Those are the brackets. Put my little spacer in there. Just trying to check how it's gonna fit. And we'll mock it up. So if we like what we see, and we'll finish weld it. See how that goes. So, before my battery died, I was trying to show you guys that I got this oil cooler mounted. Yeah, I know it's a little more sideways than I'd expect it to be. I'd want it to follow the same line, but the reality is it gets into the light if I have it too cocked forward. This is where we got so far. Getting there as far as getting everything mocked up. I'm not finished welding any of this right now. Purpose being is the radiator is still bent, and I want to get everything together to make sure that's the way I want it. If I need to change anything and I have it finish welded, then it's kind of a pain in the butt to take care of it. So yeah, that's where we're at with it right now. I'm about to get this rack out of here so I can weld this rack up. Once I weld the rack up, we should be good. Fast forward to many hours later when I can get back to it. I eventually got this rack out, and already I'm working on trying to weld up that little piece, because I was only able to mount this side, and I have to be able to mount that side as well. So I just got a piece of this stuff, 1.5 inches, chopped it up, didn't even cut it straight, because then I can shape it and do whatever I need to do to it later in order to get it to match this one. Plus it gives me a little space to weld on the back side since it's a little thicker. It's a little thicker, so it gives me some weldable room, penetrate and kind of fill at the same time. So see how far we get with this. Maybe I'll put you guys on the time lapse while I try to weld this up and see how well I do. Like I said, I am not a welder, but I can get her done. So this is the repair that was made. I still have to drill out that hole and center it up a little bit more. But that's pretty much it. Just gotta paint it. And boy, oh boy, I couldn't use my 110 on this. I had to plug into the 220 to get this hot enough to weld. But got it on there. What? What's going on, you guys? Back at it with another one. Working on the SC today. Man, how y'all doing? I'm doing great. I'm blessed. Working on that monster. So yeah, long story short, engine's coming out of the car. I have a leak that's at the back of the pan that I don't like. I can't tell if it's the rear main seal or not. Not only that, the pan itself has a huge dent. When I brought the car to the house, car bounced pretty good, and it was like this close to the trailer. While I was on the trailer, it bounced and smashed the oil pan right where the pickup is. So I don't want to pull it out, but I probably should, because I want all this checked over before I dyno the car. I want to make sure it's solid and we don't have any issues. So once we're at the dyno, we know it's good. I can lean on it and not be afraid. Plus, I've already ran the motor, so I can pull the pan off, look at the stuff under the pan, look at how the pistons are starting to wear. I'm not going to pull any caps off. I will go through and try and retorque things just to make sure we didn't miss anything. But other than that, I think that's a good opportunity to look at things, and not such a bad idea. So a lot of work, yes, but I'll do it for reassurance. So let me break some bolts off and I'll set you up so you can see what I'm doing. And it's the next day. Good morning, top of the day. What it do? I'm back working on this. Got this thing on the stand last night, and today we commenced with getting it back together. So order of operation, I gotta take this back off, put the cover back on, because when I flip it, there's still oil in it. I'm gonna get a little water out of it, and it is what it is, but in order to take this pan off, I'm gonna have to flip it. Not only that, I want to look over the inside of the motor, see what that's looking like. I did build this motor. I have maybe 5 minutes of runtime on the motor. But a motor of this caliber, I want to kind of see how it's breaking in since I have it out. I know I've only run it for like 5 minutes, but I want to make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. There's no excessive shavings or anything like that. If there's a problem, I can catch it now. For the most part, the plan is to change that pan. This is a brand new pan, and I bought this pan because it's got, the trap doors in it and all that good stuff. But with the pickup I have, it's kind of, I don't know if they're one of them stuck open or what. Not only that, I have, there's a dent at the bottom of the pan. Like I told you before, when I towed the car over here, I ended up damaging that pan. So it doesn't matter that I just spent all this money on the pan. It's damaged. And I got to take it out anyway to fix it because the dent is right where the pickup is. The bigger reason I'm pulling this off is just to make sure the pickup's okay. If it's not, then I can repair it, replace it. It's just preventative, maintenance. Not only that, since the motor's out of the car, there's a couple things like, let's see here. This is the knock sensor. This knock sensor will bolt right there. A little difficult to do while the motor's in the car. So like all the things I need to do while the motor's out, I can do them now. I like to fully dress the motor and get it all back together before putting it back in the car, but the reality is, with this thing sitting on the hill the way it is, it's going to be damn near impossible to try to get this motor back in the car without damaging the pilot bearing. With it fully dressed, I'm foreseeing it not to be easy. If it's easy, then great, but right now I'm really foreseeing it not being easy. So, yeah. There's also a couple things I have to do. So those headers sitting over there. I need to make more clearance for my spark plug wires. I don't want to burn them up prematurely. I don't want to be burning them just to replace them. They're not expensive, but they're also not cheap. Not only that, I build my wires because the wires don't go from here to here like the stock ones do. My wires go from here to like somewhere over here in the car. Eventually they might even go back through the firewall, back into the car, and I'll mount the coils in there. For now, the coils are under the hood. Maybe after I dyno the car, the motor might come back out. If it does come back out and I repaint the engine bay and do all that stuff, then maybe I will mount them inside the car. For right now, I need to get this thing running, dynoed. I want to be driving. So let's get this thing back together and go from there. A little Johnson lifter action. A little port and polish action. Stainless valves. Double roller. Yeah, she got some goodies. Goodies.
So this is the oil that came out of the filter. Not bad. I mean, like I said, this motor probably has like 5 minutes of runtime on it, but I just wanted to clear whatever was in it from machining and like whatever I missed when I cleaned it out before I built the motor. Now the rest of it is just pretty much break-in stuff, but so far so good. So got the top cover back on it. Now I'm getting ready to flip this motor. Put some gloves back on, and we'll flip it. We'll take a look at the inside.
So I decided I'm not taking all this off. I got this extra support on here for the pickup. In order for me to take that off, I gotta pull everything here off. Just take this off to look at what I know is good. So at this point right now, let me get this all buttoned back up. I think we're gonna stick with this pan. Just gonna make sure it's all tight and everything is good and everything's sealed up. I'm gonna add some silicone to the edge on this. Then go for it with this pan. I can run the car and do everything I need to do with this pan. I may not have my oil cooler and everything hooked up, but at least I can run everything to that area. And then I can purchase the adapter for the oil cooler and all that stuff later. Right now, looking at those ports, they're the same size as what's on that pan over there. So we're gonna run that pan and be happy. The little stands I put here, those originally supported not cavitating if that pan were to happen to get smashed. And it touched it barely. So I'm just gonna flatten that pan back out, put it back on. I bought that pan for this motor, and turns out it probably will work out. So we're gonna continue to use that pan. We're just gonna straighten it back out and make sure it's good. Don't want to tap on it too much trying to straighten it out because I don't want to put any cracks or fractures in it, but we're gonna go for it. I pray that it's good. I don't want to go back through this again. Anyway, so let me get back to work. Intercooler mounted, radiator mounted. Still got to do the top mounts and cap these ends off. Clear view in. Turbo mocked up and polished. Intake put on there. Oil cooler put in. It's not all the way in, but it's almost finished. Gotta do new spark plug wires, both sides. I'm gonna use these for now, but I'm definitely gonna make more, and you won't really see the wires so much. Eventually I like to put the coil packs inside the car, but the reality is I probably won't. It's a lot of work. Not really, but as far as like serviceability, it's kind of a pain in the butt, so I'd rather keep them up here. I have these old valve covers I used to rock that I've remodified. Put the bung back here, or sorry, up here, because it's the front of the engine. Originally I put them in the back thinking I knew what I was doing, but the reality is putting them back there, all I was doing was pushing the oil right into the oil cooler. So by putting it in the front, I resolved that issue. So now